Zero tariffs versus trade war. Is China winning Africa from America? For many years, Africa has been a place where big countries compete for influence. Both China and the United States want good relationships with African countries. They want to trade, invest, and have strong political ties. But in the last 20 years, China has become Africa's biggest trading partner. Many people now ask, is China winning Africa from America? Let's find out what is happening. And why? What is a tariff? Why does zero tariff help? When a country buys goods from another country, it usually charges a tariff. A tariff is a tax on imported goods. For example, if Kenya sells tea to America, the U.S. might charge a 10% tariff. But if Kenya sells tea to China, China charges 0% tariff, no tax at all. This makes it cheaper and easier for African products to enter China. Farmers, miners, and factories in Africa make more money because their goods can compete better in Chinese markets. This is called zero tariff trade policy, and China has signed zero tariff agreements with more than 20 African countries. What is a trade war? Why is America in one? A trade war is when two countries raise tariffs and punish each other's goods. Since 2018, the United States and China have been in a trade war. The U.S. raised tariffs on Chinese goods, and China raised tariffs on U.S. goods. They have been fighting over trade rules. At the same time, the U.S. has also put sanctions on some African countries. Sanctions mean stopping trade, stopping loans, or freezing money because of political disagreements. Many African leaders feel that U.S. trade policy is more focused on control and punishment instead of partnership. Why do African countries like China's way? African leaders often prefer working with China for many reasons. Zero tariffs. This helps African farmers and businesses sell more. Big investments. China builds railways, airports, ports, power plants, and hospitals. Fast projects. Chinese companies often work faster and cheaper than Western ones. No political demands. China does not ask for changes in human rights, elections, or government policies as a condition for trade or loans. By comparison, America often asks for political reforms and moves more slowly. What has China done in Africa? In just 20 years, China has built more than 10,000 kilometers of new railways in Africa, built or upgraded over 100 ports, loaned hundreds of billions worth of dollars for African development, created thousands of jobs in African cities and villages, bought African oil, copper, cobalt, coffee, cotton, and more. Now, trade between China and Africa is more than $250 billion each year, much higher than U.S. Africa trade. What has America done in Africa? America still does many good things in Africa. The U.S. helps with education and teacher training, healthcare, medicine, and fighting diseases like AIDS and malaria, support for democracy and elections, investments in oil, gas, and mining. However, many African leaders feel America does not spend enough on trade or big projects. They also feel America focuses too much on politics. Who is winning? When it comes to trade and investment, China is clearly ahead. China is Africa's #1 trade partner. China invests more money in African infrastructure. More African leaders visit Beijing than Washington. But America still has strong cultural ties. Many African students study in American universities. Many Africans enjoy American movies, music, and technology. So the real answer is China is winning the trade and investment race, but America still has influence in culture, education, and democracy. Is this good for Africa? For Africa, having two big partners can be good. African countries can choose what is best for them. Some leaders try to work with both China and America to get the best deals. But some experts warn that too much borrowing from China could lead to debt problems in the future. What can America do? If America wants to compete better, it needs to offer lower tariffs to African goods, invest in African roads, ports, and power, do business faster and with fewer conditions, show more respect for African needs. What might the future look like? In the future, Africa may become even more important. It has a young, growing population, rich natural resources, and big markets. Both China and America will continue to compete. But in the end, African nations will decide who their best partner is. Keywords: tariff, a tax on goods from another country. Zero tariff, no tax on imported goods. Trade war, a fight between countries. Over trade rules. Investment, putting money into a project to make it grow. Sanctions, actions to punish or limit another country. Debt, money that needs to be paid back. Was this session helpful? Please comment and subscribe for more interesting stories. Thanks for listening. See you for next episode.